Assalamu alaikum everybody, and welcome to my new video. This video is slightly different because it's not a vlog. I've made a video in response to the questions that I was being asked from my Umrah series on YouTube, and I just thought it would be easier for me to make a video and answer some of the questions. Before I begin answering these questions, I do want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's watched the vlogs, who's liked, commented, followed me, subscribed and sent me messages. Honestly, if I can inspire or help even one person to go and perform Umrah, then I will be so blessed. So inshallah, this video will bring you clarity, or if you've got any questions that you want to find out about the process of booking for Umrah or traveling alone, then inshallah I'll be able to help you based on my own personal experiences. So I'm going to begin. I've actually written some notes. I do apologise that this video is late. I have recently moved to a new city, so it's been a few weeks of just readjusting to living here, and yeah, so here it is, here's the video. So the first question that I was asked was the cost of flights. Now, this is such a big question and there's so many different answers to this because it does depend where you are flying from. So in December and in May, when I went both times, I flew from Dubai, whereas some of my family members met me in Makkah and Medina, but they travelled from the UK. Now, the UK flights were a lot more expensive. It can go up to about £900 to over £1,000 if you are travelling from the UK in peak periods, for example, the winter holidays or in Ramadan, whereas in Dubai it would cost you anywhere between £200 to £300 depending on the airline that you choose. So I flew to Jeddah this previous time with Fly Dubai, and then on the way back from Medina to Abu Dhabi I returned on Wizz Air, which was not expensive at all. However, if you are travelling with Wizz Air, it is very important to know that they do not let you take Zamzam water on board, whether that's in your checked baggage or your carry-on. They will not allow you to take Zamzam water on board. Luckily, I had a friend who was travelling from Medina to Dubai, so they brought the Zamzam water for me. But if I was on my own, I would have had to leave my Zamzam there. I tried to talk to a few people, but they were not listening. So if you can, try to avoid Wizz Air, but the prices for Wizz Air are great. The next question is very similar, but it's about hotels. So when I went in December, it was a lot more expensive. We stayed at Swiss Hotel in Makkah, which is one of my favourite hotels in Makkah. I think it is my favourite hotel in Makkah just because it's so clean, the rooms are quite big, and it's very modern, spacious, the bathrooms are nice, the breakfast was good, and most importantly, it is so close to the Haram. In May, we stayed in Pullman Zamzam, which again was in the clock tower, and that was a very nice hotel as well. The cost for the Makkah hotels in December was about £170 a night, but that was for 4 of us, so it worked out to be around £45 per person per night. Now in Medina, it wasn't as expensive because we stayed in a hotel that wasn't my first choice, but because we booked quite late, the hotel that I wanted had sold out. This was around £30 per night per person with a sharing room of 4, but again it was a very small hotel. In May, alhamdulillah, I managed to book the hotel that I wanted, which was Shard Al Medina, which again was a bit more expensive, but I checked. So I think the best thing to do is to book your hotel around a year in advance if you can, because when I was performing my Umrah in December, I checked for the same hotel a year later and it was about half the price. Now you can book it where you can cancel it if you need to, so even if you're not sure if you will be going, you can still book it, and then later on if you want to cancel it you can, but it's better to book in advance to reserve those prices in order to get the best deals, I'd say. I would recommend Shard Al Medina in Medina and in Makkah Swiss Hotel, but there are other nice hotels. If you want to stay further out, it won't be as expensive, and the good thing about that is most of the hotels do actually have a free shuttle service that takes you from the hotel to the Haram. but make sure you double check that before you book, because you don't want to do that thinking that you might get a bus when in fact they don't, and you'd end up spending a lot of time trying to get a taxi or walking to the haram. Okay, the next question is, what are the best places to shop? What are the best places to shop thobes and the best places to eat? Now, in terms of clothing, I did not buy much from Makkah or Medina. I brought everything from here and then I took it with me. If you are wanting to do some shopping, I would say do your shopping in Medina, because Makkah is more expensive, but they have the same things. So Medina is better for shopping. You can haggle, because as soon as you start speaking English, they will give you higher prices, so you can haggle. Do not feel guilty for haggling, because they're trying to rip you off. For thobes, yeah, there are lots of shops around the haram. Usually the best time to go shopping is after Isha. Honestly, it is such a vibe. It's so nice. After prayer time, you can go get some ice cream, get a coffee, do some shopping. Definitely the best time to go. I love shopping in Medina in the night. In terms of food, I'd say for us personally, Makkah was better, just because we were staying in the clock tower. There's a mall which has a whole food court, fast food, restaurants. There's so many different options. The cafes there are also amazing. We went to Cafe Moment, which is currently going viral on social media. That was nice. It had nice views of the haram. Apparently I heard now they don't let children go in there, but when we went, my nephews were in there, so we didn't have any issues there. There are other cafes in the clock tower as well that I included in my vlog. I think one of them was called Cafe Milliard, which was on the ground floor at the back of the clock tower. That was also very nice as well. In Medina, there are places to eat, but they're more like stalls. There's not enough seating area. If you're happy to take your food back to the hotel or to sit on the benches or on the floor, you can. We did that a few times and that was nice as well. But there is an area where you can eat, like an outdoor food court with different stalls, which is further away. It's just a walk next to the Hilton Hotel. If you keep walking down that route, there is an outdoor food court that we didn't actually find until our final night in Medina, so we missed out on that one. They have some Turkish food, some coffee shops. Yes. Speaking of coffee shops, Barnes Coffee in Medina is my absolute favourite, and their cold drinks are the best for a hot day in Medina. The next question is, when is the best time to perform Umrah so it's not too busy? Now, this is a very important question. It's so important to plan your Umrah in terms of when you're landing, when you're checking into your hotel, how long you think you will need to get ready for your Umrah. Now, both times, coincidentally, I arrived there in the night time. So, alhamdulillah, I was able to perform my Umrah just before Fajr, which for me, I think is the best time, just because it's not so hot. And if you time it well, you can stay there and you can perform, you can offer your Fajr Salah in Jamaat just after your Umrah. In May when I went, I did my Umrah alone. It was the first ever Umrah that I did by myself, and it was the most incredible experience. I really took my time because I was only spending one day in Makkah, so I really wanted to take my time and perform my Umrah slowly. And again, I timed it well, so I prayed Fajr there afterwards as well. So I'd say the night time is always the best time because it's cooler, but it is busier. It's very busy on Friday mornings. This links to the next question. How early must I go to perform Jummah prayer in the Mataf area? Again, this all depends on timing. If you go, I think on Friday morning, I think about 10 o'clock they close it off, so you're not allowed to go in for your dua, for your Umrah. But if you go in before then and you do your Umrah, you can stay there and then you can pray Jummah in the Mataf area. Alhamdulillah, I was able to do that once in my first ever trip to Makkah, but that was because a nice security guard let me in. This next question is from a lady, so I can only answer it from my perspective, but it might be better to speak to another lady who has been, and they might be able to answer better. But the question is, should I kiss the black stone, and are there times when it's quiet? Now, if any of you have been to perform Umrah before, you will see that the Blackstone area is very, very, very busy all of the time or most of the time. Unfortunately, there's no queue, there's no system which the security guards can implement, which I think would be such a massive help, but I don't know if it would be possible just because the amount of people who are trying to touch the black stone. It is possible for you to touch the black stone. I know a few women who have touched the black stone. There are narrations to say that if you can touch the black stone, if you can't touch the black stone, then you can raise your right hand and inshallah you will get the same rewards as touching the black stone. Just be very careful when you are in that surrounding. Are there times when it's quiet is the next question. Yes, there are some times when it's quiet. We used to always switch on Makkah Live in the hotel and then you can see if it's quiet or not. If it is, you go down and perform Umrah. If it isn't, you might want to go perform it slowly, or stay on the outskirts of the haram, just if you do not want to be in the crowds. There are different floors where you can perform tawaf as well, so it is possible to have a bit more space if you don't want to be in a crowd. But I mean, it looks a lot busier on TV. When you're there, you do find your space, alhamdulillah, you do, and you will find your space, inshallah. So please do not be put off by crowds, because when you are there, it doesn't seem as busy as it does when you are watching it from a bird's eye view. How can I apply for a visa? This is very easy. You just go on to visitsaudia.com and you apply for your visa there. You have to upload a picture and you send a response to a form. You pay for it, I think it was £130, and then within 10 minutes you will receive your visa via email. However, a friend did tell me a while back that if you're traveling from the UK, you do not have to get a visa anymore. You just have to pay for your health insurance, which I think is around £26. But that does mean it's only a one-off entry to perform Umrah in the year. So if you want to go again, you have to pay again. Whereas with a visa, it lasts for a whole year and you can go as many times as you want. I've not done the latter route yet. I've not checked that out. Maybe I should, but my visa is valid until December. So if I want to go after December, I will check that out. But I will leave the links in the description as well. So that brings this video to an end, and I think I've answered all of the questions that I got. If you do have any other questions, please feel free to message me on YouTube or Instagram. My Instagram is here, and I look forward to making more videos. If you have got any ideas, because at the moment I am feeling uninspired. If you do want to see anything, if you want to know anything else, please do let me know. If you do get the opportunity to go, or if you are considering it, please just go. Please go and experience it for yourself, because you will never know how truly wonderful it is until you are there. Inshallah, I pray for anybody who has not visited the Holy Lands yet. I pray sincerely that you do, because it is life-changing and it's amazing. And for those of you who want to go back, like me, I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls us time and time again, and for it to be a regular occurrence in our lives. But please remember me in your du'as. Thank you so much for watching, and inshallah I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.